And this is how you went from knowing nothing about sailing to crossing the Atlantic Ocean and beyond on our sailboat. About 5 years ago, I had no sailing experience, spent countless hours on YouTube watching my favorite channels, hoping I could learn something from them. I bought my first sailboat in France in 2017, a Lagoon 42. Took some American Sailing Association class back in the United States, and also as a paying crew, I went for several weeks on friends' boats to have some hands-on experience. As I got the Lagoon 42 delivered, I hired some help to help me sail the boat and learn from them. And a year and a half later, I sold the Lagoon 42 to work, save, to buy a slightly bigger boat, a Lagoon 46. A lot to do over there at Joy. We have to put the solar panels, the interface with the engines, there's so many other additionals that we decided to buy and equip Joy with.
Eu não sei nada com nada. Ninguém me avisou essa parte do mercado, não gostei muito não.
I met Patricia in January 2018. Since the first day we met, I knew she was the one. We got married and she moved to Mexico with me, where I lived at the time because of work. Why am I telling you all of this? Well, I have heard of a saying, happy wife, happy life, but never got a second thought about it. Convincing someone to do something is the guarantee formula for failure. How do I propose to her to buy a boat, sail around the world, if she doesn't even know how to sail, if she likes it or not? She's totally fearful of the water and never learned how to swim. Let me show you how we went from having no boat, no experience, to be live aboard sailing our catamaran here in Europe.
Estamos chegando aqui para fazer o curso. Acho que falta 5 minutinhos para chegar. Bonito esse colete, né? Novinho. Não vou usar ele, depois ele vai continuar novinho. Espero não cair na água. Falou que até amanhã eu vou aprender a nadar. É super pesado. A gente vai começar o curso de vela. Como que é? A vermelha é...
A vermelha é no teu lado esquerdo.
E a verde é direito.
Se eu fizer assim, ó, com ele engatado, o barco vai querer ir embora.
Para de filmar e vem aqui me ajudar.
Tá?
Estou com 20 de velocidade. Ai, calma aí, deixa eu prestar atenção no que estou fazendo. Cada vez. Vira aí, barco. Legal, isso é divertido. Muito gostoso. Um ventinho de um squall se aproximando. Ó, sabendo já desse negócio do mar.
Sailing definitely needs to be fun for both parties, and that's the only way it can work out. After I went to the process of learning everything I could about sailing, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, and being boatless after sailing our Lagoon 42, this lifelong passion would just have to be put on a back burner. If my wife did not buy into the idea of exploring the world aboard a sailboat.
A gente veio no boat show para ver as novidades. A gente vai lá no stand da Lagoon.
So how would I get Patricia to get as passionate as I was about sailing, and possibly make it flourish inside her the desire and passion of trading land life to life at sea? That was when we both decided to buy a Lagoon 46 after visiting the Miami Boat Show. Little that we knew back then that only 14 months later the entire world would be in a lockdown, and our 12-month wait would quickly turn into 2 full years. 2020 was a difficult year due to all that was happening around the world. We took that opportunity to expand our horizons and live minimally while we explored over 30,000 kilometers inside of Juby, the van that became part of our family that year. We got to see the entire United States and experience life from a totally different perspective that we were accustomed to, and understand how lack of space could translate into a feeling of freedom never before experienced.
E fica tremendo fazer isso aqui. Vamos lá e fechou.
That experience just assured both of us that we had made the right decision to buy a sailboat and attempt to sail the world. While it is pretty easy to tell people what to do, it is much harder to create a welcoming environment for others to jump head first, leaving their fears behind to truly immerse on a life-changing learning experience. It is so much easier to jump in and do it yourself when you see the other one struggling to perform a relatively easy task. But by not doing so, the transformation begins by having that person accountable for that task, and you do not get overwhelmed by the need to correct or do it yourself. This process made us to be even closer than we were already. Elevate the trust level and create something so much larger than just sailing from one place to the
Eu
next.
fico assim, ó, acabada, suando, toda vermelha. Porque eu acho que eu fico muito acelerada para querer fazer o negócio certo e rápido para dar certo. E aí eu fico assim, morrendo.
It was just great to be part of Patricia's evolution and to share responsibilities while sailing. Not only I was able to be living the dream I had in the back of my mind of sailing the world with someone I love, but made me experience a very high level of happiness as the life we were living. It was not my dream or desired, but something we were creating little by little together. Because this is just the beginning of the story of a couple that have left everything behind to see the world aboard a sailing catamaran. A story that will continue in 2022 as we put together our sailing route that will go like this. In March 2022, we prepared to leave Valencia and sail the coast of Spain towards Denia. In April 2022, we sailed from Denia to further explore the island of Ibiza before we crossed the Palma of Mallorca, which is about 60 nautical miles from the north tip of Ibiza. In Mallorca, we plan to spend almost a month, possibly the month of May, then jump into Menorca for 2 weeks and finally sail away from Spain to arrive in Italy. When we plan to spend almost 2 months exploring Sardinia and then the coast of Italy all the way south to Rome and Napoli. As we approach October, a decision will have to be taken. To spend the winter in a marina in Europe or continue non-stop and cross the Atlantic Ocean towards the Caribbean. What do you think about this plan? You are a very important part of this journey to us and we want to hear your opinion. If you have not seen Season 2 from the beginning, I'll leave a link here so you can click now and we can see you there.